Hi all you Land Cruiser lovers. Some of you might have come across the problem of your Land Cruiser ride height basically going bananas on you, bouncing up and down, no control over it, then it's down at the bottom riding up bump stops. You can press switches, they're not working, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. There's all sorts of things comes to mind, and then you're starting to wonder, well, do I do away with them altogether, put coil springs on and all those different stay bars and shock absorbers and one thing and another, and it basically costs a fortune. Then you have to get somebody to do it unless you can pretty good with spanners. So I had the same problem with mine. Here's mine, and what I've ended up doing is putting some brand new ride height sensors on. Put those on. Turned out compressor wasn't working either, because it'd been a fair while with them not working right, and I kind of ended up using it, not using it ride height. It turned off, so the compressor seized up, which I took it off, and anyway it was absolutely full of crud and corroded alloy at the bottom. It wasn't good. So put new sensors on, put a new compressor on it, reset it up on height ride, and it's absolutely perfect now. I'll show you what I've done. I'll have to go under the car and just if I can get under and show you. So you've got to go fair way under here. So these are your ride height sensors, if you can see them. Two studs there going to chassis, holds them up there. They come with this rod on, which is just roughly adjusted. You've got a bracket here with a slide hole in. So what I did was measured my old rods and set them up somewhere similar. So, but these studs, because in England here everything rusts like buggery. So I spent a long time. I'd sprayed WD wherever I could through chassis to try and get a backup bolts. And I worked them just ever so slightly, part turn, spray them, part turn. And it must have spent, half an hour to an hour on each stud, because I didn't want to shear it. Just kept going ever so slowly till I got them out. Same with these, I had to cut them off, the old ones here, but at least I could get in and cut them off. And then same on that side. They're really awkward to get to, the buggers to get to. But anyway, we've got them, so we've done them. And then is the compressor. So this guard was over, this book guard, it broke off. I'm going to have to spend a bit of time getting that right again. But basically what you've got here is a plug here. These pipes take off, come off fairly easy. You need this that way. I've still got to put that bolt back in. But what I did, I managed to get a really small socket thing with shaft on and got through from front back here, through there, to get a socket on there, and got that off. And then up there, you've got that bolt. Another one, if you can just see it behind there, behind that this filthy thing, just see it there. There's that one and this one, and then above that there's another lead up here with a socket what needs to be unplugged. Awkward to get off, and I've never been off before. So the secret is with these, spare wheel off out of way so you can get in. Spend ages and ages just nice and steady, slow turns backwards and forwards for ages, as long as it takes. If it takes an hour on each one, do it, and spray us wherever you can. Once you've got wheel out, if you're getting up there with your WD-40 with one of those tubes on, get to the top of them bolts, for a little bit of thread what's protruding out of there, because that's where it rust is. And just ever so slowly but surely, just keep going and going and going. Eventually you'll get that out, and then put the other one back in as a doddle. So I've got that on. Come back out now. So put it on, it started working straight away, compressor, but it wasn't set up right. I got it where I thought was somewhere near. It was rough hot road. So what I did then, I drove it on some timbers, all the way around the car, put timbers under each wheel. So your car's pretty level, but just slightly higher to be able to get under it to work on it. And you've not got it uneven, it needs to be on an even surface, so you've got just as if it stood on road basically. Then I put it in high position, put it in low, but worked it up and down a few times, put it in normal position, and then I measured it. And what I did, measured from wheel arch, straight through centre at wheel, straight down here, to bottom at rim. You can do it bottom at tyre, but because it bulged tyre you can't always get correct, so I've gone from there to there, straight through centre at wheel. Same at both sides. And kept readjusting it underneath. So once you've got one of them slides I showed you under there, once you've got your adjustment somewhere near, all you have to do is slacken it up and just pull it a little bit in that slide, only tiny, a little bit at a time. Tighten it back up, measure it, keep working it up and down, and let it settle back in its neutral position until you get measurements equal both sides. I'll give you measurements. I've got them offline somewhere. I'll find out what them are again. I'll put them on video. And what other thing I'm gonna? Oh, and I did really well with these. I got the ride height sensors from Milner 4x4. They're in near Bakewell in Derbyshire. Pretty, I think, a good value for money. They were fairly reasonable. And the compressor I got off a company what advertises on eBay. They got it to me within a couple of days. Brilliant. I'll see if I can put a link or a thing on so you can see who that was, so you can see who they are. If you're in another country, I don't know whether you want to do that, but they're not as bad as you think. They're awkward, they're very off-putting, and for a start you're thinking, oh my god, everything's going to shear off. It's one of them. What I'd say to you is, set your car up right so you can get under it. Time, make sure you're patient and got loads and loads of time, and spent time, loads of like easing fluid or WD-40, something like that, and just take your time with them bolts. Don't risk trying to go too far and shear them. Just keep going nice and steady away. You do that, you'll get them off. Going back on is a different matter, because you've already cleaned threads up. You've already, give them another spray before you go back with them in your ball tools. Where your fixed nuts are. Plenty of spray on your studs. They'll go back in. So yeah, and the adjustment, you just need to. I followed those guidelines what I'd seen on the internet. But basically, you can do it however you want till you feel that it's right. But just lifting it another inch higher made all the difference. Because before I readjusted them, you're driving on the road, it was still banging. It's still hard on the road, and just another inch, and it's as smooth as out. It's just like it was when I first bought it 6 years ago. It's good. So don't be worried. Have a go at it. It's not that dear. And I'd still rather have air suspension than have coil springs, and it works perfectly. That's it, lower position. When it's eventually gone to the bottom, it'll automatically go back up into normal ride position. It's back up in normal position. Yeah. Now we'll put it in ice lock now. Finish, it's in his eye. There's not a lot in it between there and there when in different settings. Click it back into normal. That's it. Yeah, I'm back in normal. So that's that. So yeah, don't be afraid to have a go at it. It's something you can do. You don't necessarily need ramps or a pit or anything, but you can do it. And like I say, what I did was just drive it onto some timbers, so make sure it's safe on them timbers. But they're only a couple of inches anyway, so if it came off them, it shouldn't be able to hurt you. But I'm not saying it won't. Just be careful what you're doing. But that's what I did, so I could get under easier, and I could, without having to move car each time, I can go under, try a different setting, different thing, send it up, measure it, see what I'm at both sides, until I've got it somewhere near. And then I went for driving it. First time it wasn't perfect, so I set it a little bit higher, got it right, and it's beautiful, that road now. And it's quite rough roads around here, a lot of potholes, you barely feel them. So yeah, I'm glad I did it, and it didn't cost me a lot of money either. I think the compressor was only, I don't know, maybe about 130 odd, maybe 150 quid or something like that. I'll have a look, I'll put a note on. And the ride height sensors, I can't remember exactly, but I'll have a look and I'll put down where they got them from and how much they were. Alright, catch you soon, bye.